Hello, and welcome back to the Tells podcast. My name is Busi, and this podcast is on poker and love. I'm joined by my co-host, the handsome Andrew Neeme. Hello, Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you for that intro.
You're welcome. How are you doing?
Sore.
Sore from?
Soreness.
From?
This is a sore human right here. Just walking ball of soreness.
What is your soreness from?
I played paintball for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
Have any of you folks played paintball?
That was your first time paintballing?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know this. Don't act all surprised for the show.
I didn't realize it was your first time.
Really?
No.
Yeah, first time.
Lots of firsts this year.
First time these legs have been this sore in a long time at least.
Only about 3 weeks since you went
Mountain biking.
Mountain biking.
This is more soreness than that for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but just like the constant lunging and walking around, like crouching around, like, you know, you don't want to be walking around a paintball field like this. You get shot in the face with some paint.
Did you have helmets?
Yeah, so covers your face. It's a good thing I wore a beanie because I got shot in the top of the head a couple times.
Oh.
So the beanie helps minimize that impact a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, got shot in the fist.
Yeah, you have a battle wound from paintball.
So yeah, it was pretty intense, but really fun. Good workout, good times.
Yeah.
Were you worried about me?
Not at all.
Getting shot?
Not at all.
No, you thought I was going to be the one doing the shooting?
That's right. I have all the faith in you.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, super sore today. Probably will be for a good couple of days.
So would you go again? So you've had a couple of firsts in the physical realm this year.
This year?
Skydiving. Mountain biking. Paintball.
It's a good year.
4 firsts in the physical realm.
My first pandemic.
I think it's a first for many. It's not really.
My first rigged election.
Oh, Jesus. 2020, the year of firsts.
Yeah, I would go paintballing again, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably won't be the one to like corral everybody and be like, "Let's go, guys! Come on, this is great." But if someone else wanted to go, I'd be down.
Yeah.
Once I'm not sore anymore, these wounds need to heal.
How about doing more squats?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
To prepare for paintballing. Would you want to go paintballing?
Maybe. I did it so many years ago, and
You did?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
When and with who?
In South Africa.
Oh, with another man, I can tell.
No, actually, for my little sister's birthday.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yes. And it was fun. I don't know if I would do it again.
Do you remember it being painful?
Very, yes. Paintballs are quite painful.
Did you wear layers?
They gave us a jumpsuit. You know, those like
a camo thing?
Kind of. Like those prison jumpsuits.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised that they didn't really give us much of anything aside from the helmets and goggles.
They didn't give you a full jumpsuit?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I thought they were going to give us gloves. So my hands were left vulnerable.
I mean, it wasn't that expensive. So you get what you pay for, right?
Maybe it's because we bought it on Groupon. They're like, we're not going to give them the full. You got to pay for those upgrades.
Okay.
But so you want to go with me or what? In a group of our friends, I suppose.
Perhaps. Yeah, maybe that would be fun.
You don't look too excited to do.
I mean, the pain. You know, I don't know if it's
not really that bad. I mean, if you layer up and I think wear gloves and make sure everything's covered. One of the guys in our group was sleeveless.
Oh.
For some reason, he was wearing a t-shirt and like a sleeveless vest.
Okay.
To go paintballing, and he had the least amount of fun, I would say.
I'm sure. Was it Jesse?
It was. He threw in the towel before anybody else did.
Really?
Yeah. So.
He didn't think that one through, I'm sure.
I guess not, no.
Mm-hmm.
But if you plan ahead, I think that will increase your level of enjoyment. So I don't know. I think it'd be pretty fun to go with you and play on the same team. I don't know if I'd want to shoot you.
I would shoot you.
Yeah, you would.
So how is poker?
How is poker?
Yeah, what is your poker life looking like at the moment?
It's up in the air. You know,
Hmm.
case numbers are on the rise in a big way, and makes it a little kind of sketchy, I guess, going to play poker. And also like showing off the fact that I'm congregating amongst people via the videos, the YouTube channel. I don't know. I feel like it's a good time to bear down on the online grind and maybe add a little bit of study time as well. So I don't know. I go back and forth on it, you know, because it doesn't seem like, I mean, I know it's like a trailing number, but it doesn't seem like the, not to get too morbid on this podcast, but it doesn't seem like the deaths have risen quite as sharply, but I guess it might be too early to really tell. But, I don't know. I go back and forth just because am I really like that much at risk? Am I in that category of people that are at risk since I don't really have any health issues? So maybe I should just do my thing and also like create content for people that can't do their thing. But it's also like, I guess there's a potential for other like lasting issues when you get this virus, right? And I don't want to put myself at risk of that either.
Sure.
I don't know. I go back and forth.
Online, didn't you say you had this WSOP Supernova Elite?
Their version of the top
challenge.
tier of rakeback. Yeah. It's called Champions Club. So like if you grind it out.
That's not as cool a name as Supernova Elite.
No, and it's also like not as rewarding of a tier. Like it's their top tier rakeback level.
Yeah.
So if you're planning on playing like next year, it's good to achieve because then you'll have the top tier for the entire year.
So tell me more about this because I was a friend of mine asked me how you were doing, a friend of ours.
Okay.
And I said you were chasing this elite status online. And I said you get rake back.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you get? Because that's about the extent that
you get a diamond card at Caesars, which
you did tell me that
allows you normally, like depending on which method you utilize to achieve your diamond status at Caesars depends or decides on which benefits you receive. Because there's like different levels of diamond.
Remember, did you have a diamond card at one time at Caesars? And there was the club or the...
Yeah, so there still is, but the problem is if you get it this way, I don't think you get access to the clubs.
Okay, so there was this club that you could go to and have light refreshments. There wasn't really food, was it?
Well, the food was a little...
It was like finger food.
It was like salads and like pretzels and whatever
like
else. There was chicken wings.
Okay.
So yeah, light food, but open bar.
Okay, so you could just go and get hammered at Caesars.
Absolutely.
Which obviously is good for them because then you hopefully go and spend more money at the table games or however you got your status. All right, so you'd get so that would mean what? Free parking?
Yeah, you also get free parking, free valet.
Okay.
You might get like room discounts, something like that. Maybe a handful of free rooms or something each year.
Yeah.
That's probably about it. But anyway, the rakeback thing is really the most interesting aspect. So it's like any sort of rewards club type thing where you get like more of a discount basically for playing on their site, because that's what rakeback is. Like you're paying rake to them.
Sure.
But you're basically paying less to play on their site.
Very good. So do you think you will achieve your goal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How far along are you now?
I think it's like 71%.
Do you need sweat? Do you need a grandstand of people watching you reach this goal?
I just need your good vibes and your loving look as I work. Can you provide that for me?
No. Negative.
No.
Tell us more about
You're
this.
going to discourage me from achieving it?
Yes.
Why?
I'm going to distract you.
You want me out there, in the casinos, working rather than
in here
home all day?
No, I actually don't care where you do your work.
No?
Nope.
I'm a good roommate?
Sometimes.
When I clean the blender properly, then I'm a good roommate? Like you yelled at me for today?
I did not yell at you. I just asked you nicely.
That's true. You did not raise your voice, but you did ask me sternly.
How do you want me to ask you? Tell me.
while hugging me.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Thank you.
I will hug you while I ask you to do things
Differently
differently.
in this relationship.
I can do that.
Good. We've made progress here today.
Very
The
good.
podcast is all worth it.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the Daniel Negranaeu thing? Daniel Negranaeu and
The match?
the feud. It's not a match. It's called a feud. Baby.
Okay, it's called the feud.
The feud between Daniel Negranaeu and what's that guy's name? Doug Polk.
Yep, that's
Douglas.
his
name. You streamed on Friday, didn't you?
I streamed with Brad Owen.
Yes. I didn't get an update on that.
On which aspect of it? On just
like
how it
how
went
the
overall.
stream went, yeah.
Right. So Doug and Daniel, they're playing 25,000 hands of 200, 400, which is the nosebleeds, as they call them.
Okay.
Do you know why it's called the nosebleeds?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's so high up that your nose bleeds from being so high up. Right?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, they call the
top seat.
yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, you know. Good
Okay.
job.
Oh, you didn't think I was referring to like the stadium?
Right.
Oh no, I know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your question? What was I saying?
How was your stream? And
Yes, stream was good. It seems like people are into it. It's tough to like do much hand analysis when the cards aren't visible. You know, the whole cards.
oh, so it's a whole cards face down
Yeah.
situation. Okay, so it's like if you opened any table in WSOP, is pretty much what you're seeing.
Exactly.
Ha. Okay.
So unless you're talking like pretty high level about ranges and balancing and like, you know, choosing different hands or different splitting your range into these ways and this type of board, it gets really dry. And I don't know. I mean, there's definitely people that would be into that sort of a discussion, but they probably would get more of that. They'd get more value out of other people rather than me and Brad going down that route, I think. Because I think we're more like infotainment. I would put us into a category rather than like just straight informational.
So why did they choose to go that route
Of no whole cards?
No whole cards.
Because they're playing for a lot of money.
So
So they don't want to let the other person know like how exactly they're playing all of their hands.
okay, so but they would only know this after the fact, right?
Right.
So
But they're all
then
like,
don't
so they're
want to
studying every single day after every session and like every day basically and going over hands with coaches and stuff.
Got it.
And so like the less they give away them, the better basically.
I see. Who's in the lead?
Following Friday's session, Daniel Negranaeu has taken the lead.
Mm.
So he started out, they played this like 200 hands worth of poker in the live Poker Go setting, and
Okay.
Daniel won that. But then Doug won every online session so far after that. So it was like, oh, okay, well, the rest of the session is going to be played online. So Doug's just going to crush the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But Daniel had a huge session on Friday to retake the lead.
Got it. Yeah, I told somebody it was 500 hands on live. See, this is why I need to check my poker information with you because I'm spreading misinformation out here in the world.
25,000 hands. But the person who's losing can quit after the halfway point if they want.
No, I said the live hands was 500.
200, 500.
So I'm sorry,
too far
Chris,
off.
for misleading you.
So I don't know. We'll probably do more of the hangouts. We kind of called it just like a live stream hangout where it was just me and Brad talking. And then if there was a big hand, we'll really like look at it and talk about it a little bit.
And just try and guess what
Look at it. Well, it goes to showdown occasionally. You know, if there's an all-in,
Right.
then we get to see everyone's cards.
Sure.
So then we can talk about that and like what they did on each street, but not really not really going to say like what he was thinking at the time because we have no idea. We don't play these kind of stakes.
Yeah.
2-5, 5-10 grinders. So I don't know. It's fun.
Okay.
It was fun. Good times. Seemed like most people enjoyed it. Some people were like, you guys are talking about beer and coffee and stuff while there's like a $16,000 hand going on. And I don't know what's going on here, but most people seem to have dug it, I think.
All right. Are you ready to fall in love?
Um,
You ready to fall more deeply in love?
is this about the questions?
Yes.
Okay. You better re-explain the questions for anyone who didn't tune in last week.
Okay, so there is a list of 36 questions that apparently lead to love. This was published in the New York Times love section. It's like a relationship section. And
What do you mean lead to love?
the questions, you ask each other questions that lead to love, which means that they reveal to you, or they reveal the other person to you, and that all that revelation allows you to fall in love with them. Would you agree?
I think it allows each other to be vulnerable, or you learn about each other. And I guess in that manner, you might fall in love with them.
That's exactly what I said. I said reveal. You're revealing yourself. In order to reveal yourself, you have to be vulnerable.
It's not like two people are going to ask these questions to each other and then fall in love.
Yes, that's the actual point.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the initial premise of it was to place two strangers and have them do this 36 questions together.
And see if they fell in love as a result of the questions.
Correct.
Interesting.
That's why I said questions that lead to love.
Okay. Delete all that.
But before we do the questions, I saw an idea on the internet about measuring love. This guy came up with this concept of measuring love in something called low tiles. He didn't really define what low tiles were, but his argument was that we say we love people, but then we also say we love burritos. So we should be able to measure love, have a unit of measurement for love, so that you can clearly see whether it's like love or just a strong affinity towards. We've spoken about this, about, how we just use words so willy-nilly. Right. I love Taco Bell. I love Starbucks coffee. I love, everybody loves everything. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Are you saying you love me on a deeper level than you love burritos?
Very much.
Wow.
I don't love burritos that much. So
Taco Bell?
I don't love Taco Bell either. But, you get the idea. Like if I said, I love espresso martinis from the Nomad.
Yeah. So what's his suggestion on the unit of measurement?
He hasn't quite defined it. Okay. He's named it. It's called low tiles.
Low tiles? Terrible.
Okay. But then what are your thoughts on that? Do you think there should be a way to measure this love? Because love is...
Probably not.
It's usually very active, right? You feel the warm, fuzzy feelings, but it is a very active...
So do we need a measurement?
Yeah.
No.
We don't?
I don't think so. Because then you're just going to ask me, like, what's the measurement?
How many low tiles did I get today?
Well, not today, but like overall.
How many low tiles am I at?
What if it's less than 100 at any one point? That you're just going to get self-conscious and worry about the relationship. It's better if it's just vague, I think.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, like if you're saying like on a particular day, then yeah, I mean, there's going to be like some rough days or some arguments and disagreements and stuff. But you're still going to love the person. The idea is that you still love them like 100 overall, right?
I think so. And I think it's not just like on a day-to-day basis, because you don't love burritos one day and hate them the next, unless you have a terrible experience at a burrito place.
At Firefly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like an excuse to write an article.
There's no merit to it. I think I'm going to look into it a little bit more and see. It just piqued my interest, so I thought I would ask you before I spent more time on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, I mean, if you're talking about like, yeah. I mean, it's fun to say like, yeah, I love you, but I kind of hate you right now,
Yeah, sure.
I think that's fun. But,
that's fun?
Yeah. And so along those same lines, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're 100 overall, but you're kind of like right around 17 today, specifically.
Might be a more efficient way to communicate, especially if somebody is more sort of analytical and mathematically inclined. Then then they know where they stand with you on that particular day. So let us know in the comments or write to us. hello@telspodcast.com. Do you think we should have a unit of measurement for love?
All right. I mean, I could maybe get behind it. Seems like extra words.
Yeah, and you do not like words, as we know.
As we know.
Yeah.
All right. Questions?
All right. We're beginning on question number 4 today. And the question is, what would constitute a perfect day for you?
Maybe you should go first.
Okay. Have to think about this. For me, a perfect day is a day where I get to have all aspects of myself touched.
Okay, I can do that.
Not physically, but not necessarily physically, but also physically. Meaning that I eat good food because I like good food. I get to work on something that's sort of mentally challenging, but it doesn't take up all day. And I get to move, and spend time with somebody or people that I love.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not just a day doing one thing. I
Right.
like it where it's like I've meditated long enough, I've journaled, I've seen some people, I've read, all the things that I love to do, and being able to make time for everything in that one day
Yes.
constitutes my perfect day.
Mine is very similar.
Really?
Yeah. So, touches all of my being.
Yours just physically.
Physically, though.
Okay.
Start the day with that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, I think like a lot of the similar, I think there's a lot of similarities there, except mine probably wouldn't be meditating and journaling, but it would be doing something that is creative.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like enjoying good food, being with people that I enjoy being around, loved ones that also want to be around me. What else did you say? But yeah, like doing something physical.
Right. I just like a full day is my perfect day.
But then also ending with something that touches my every being physically.
Okay.
So double down on that.
Okay.
Remove meditating and journaling. And then it's basically the same thing.
Okay. So how often do you have a perfect day?
Like, not that often.
Not that often.
No.
Why is that? I mean, this is not part of the question.
I think, but like, I think because people are usually doing their own thing, usually put too much effort into one of those aspects.
Right.
And forget about some of the other ones. So like, it's usually the work one / creative that takes the majority of the day / days.
Right.
Then other stuff gets pushed out. So it's good to, I think about this question and think about like what the perfect day is.
Right. And how you can achieve that perfect day.
I would also include
often.
like helping somebody that could use some help into that day. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's make more perfect days, shall we?
Yeah. I think it'd be good to focus on that a little harder. Sure.
Next question. When last did you sing to yourself or to someone else?
Sing to myself or to someone else?
Mm-hmm.
I could probably like count the times I've sung to someone else, like on 2 hands in my life.
Okay.
Sing to myself, maybe like a couple lines or like a line somewhere in the car driving by myself pretty recently. I've never like planned out, like a song to sing to myself or something.
I don't think that's a question.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
like occasionally in the car,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't know.
How often do you think it is for me? When last did I sing to myself?
Whenever you're not like in a really bad mood, you sing to yourself.
When is that?
Like
When am I
when trading is rough, or I didn't wash the blender properly.
But you think I don't sing to myself even on those days?
Just not in those moments. You might get over it later in the day.
Oh, yeah. But it's not like in the moment. You're not singing all day to make a perfect day.
Okay. So yeah,
I
you
sing
sing to yourself more often than I do. Yes.
Pretty much daily.
Mm-hmm. I think you're a better
To
singer.
somebody else, not so much.
You're a better singer. So that makes sense.
Oh, thank you. All right. So this question, number 6. if you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Yeah, I think it would have to be the mind. I think. I don't know. I mean, it's tough to know like what the mind of what was it when you're 90?
Yes. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Yeah, it's tough for me to know what the mind of like a 70-year-old to 90-year-old person feels like. You can kind of assume that like it can be tough to move around. You move around real slowly, and you maybe get like a couple extra aches and pains and like what that looks like, but you don't really know what a deteriorating mind feels like to the person who's in it. So it's a tough one, but I think it would probably be retain the mind, because it seems like being confused and stuff would be kind of a nightmare. But maybe it's better to retain the body, because
okay,
when
we don't have all day.
because when you're losing your mind, maybe you don't know that you're losing your mind. But who knows? Because I've never experienced it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I would keep the body, I think.
And be blissfully crazy.
Sure. Yeah, because I think if I look at Busi at 20 and Busi at 30, I would much rather prefer to be me at 30, you know, or myself in my 30s than I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
So if that trajectory remains, then I would much rather keep the body of a 30-year-old and have the maturing mind of a 40, 50, 60-year-old.
Interesting. I wasn't looking at it that way. I wasn't thinking that like you kind of remain immature.
Right.
Didn't think about that. I thought it just meant like your faculties.
No, I mean, I think the question is specific. It's written in a way to leave it up to interpretation, right?
Well, shit. Now I feel dumb.
Maybe you should read the questions before. I haven't read the question all the way through. I have
read some of them. I've read them all, actually.
Oh, you have?
But
I haven't read.
I forgot about them.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like your neuroses when you're so young are really difficult and you don't know where to put them. But as you get older, you get a hold of your mind and you train your mind, hopefully, to do what you want it to do, which would also mean like keeping this hot 30-year-old body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think...
Yeah, your answer's better.
I mean, it could be painful to not have your faculties if that is really the way that it unfolds.
Yeah, there's no way to know.
But yeah, I mean, would you want your 30-year-old mind though?
I don't know. I mean, like, ideally, no, but I mean, that is like somewhere around there is when I started to like, I think.
The light came on.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
but maybe a little bit after that. So it's close.
There's the challenge of how stuck in our ways we become as we age. So as a 30-year-old, you might be more like limber and adaptable mentally than you are at 60. So there's a positive to that too. I don't think there's like a right or wrong answer.
All right. Thanks for making me feel better. Look better on the show, in public, on YouTube.
Okay.
Let's do one more.
Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? It's all the dark stuff today.
A secret hunch?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like secret hunch. I just imagine it'll be like from old age and things that happen to a human as they get older.
So just to the body breaking down and going,
yeah, more susceptible to like diseases that old people suffer from. Something like that. I hope. It's not like paintball accident.
So you just think it will be old age that you'll die from?
I think so. Yeah. So
I like that. It's very optimistic.
What's yours?
To say it's a hunch, I see like a massive crash or something, like some sort of disaster that takes you out instantly.
You have a hunch it might be something like that? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like if I think of death, it will be
Really?
immediate and
Creepy.
fast.
Very creepy. Maybe we shouldn't fly anywhere. But I guess that can happen on the road too, so you're just going to have to stay home. Busi's on personal lockdown.
Yeah, so.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, yours is closer to a secret hunch than mine is. Mine's not really a secret hunch.
Like I said, yours is like very optimistic.
Right.
You just look at it as I have this very long life.
Yeah, I hope so.
Ahead of me.
I think that there's like a non-0% like fear that will happen sooner, because it happens to people
Sure.
when they're not old. So I don't know if that's not really like a secret hunch or whatever, and it's also not like definite gonna happen when I'm old.
Yeah.
Normal.
Okay, shall we go to some listener feedback?
Yes, please.
Okay, do you feel more in love, Andrew, as you learn these things?
I think it's fun. Yeah, sure. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Still early.
All right. So from our text and voice message number.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a question from B is, do you think poker players are better off in long-term relationships with poker players or non-poker players based on your professional experience?
Well, I guess I better say non-professional poker players.
Did you ever date a poker player?
No.
Nope.
So I can't really speak from balanced experience.
Yeah.
But
if you were to...
Well, I think the fact that I think probably professional poker players, but I mean, the thing is that what you were into professionally when we met, what you're still into, has so many parallels to professional poker. So like trading is very similar, and you sort of get that you don't need to be working like a traditional job or traditional schedule in order to find success in the world, and B, you're not going to win every day, and that's part of the job, and that makes sense, and it's okay. C, there's going to be emotional swings that go along with that don't have anything to do with you or me or whatever. So, it's there's so many parallels to it that can be tough for a non-poker player to get, I would say, the majority of the time, but not always. So I think probably it's a higher likelihood of working out, I think, if someone else really gets it fundamentally. But that's not to say it's impossible, of course. There's benefits that come from when you work with, or when you are in a relationship with somebody that is working on the same thing, because you guys can study together, or someone can give you a suggestion about something, maybe you played a hand one way and your wife's gonna be like, why'd you do that?
Why'd you do that?
Yeah. What are you thinking in this spot? And there's also the benefit of working together on things publicly and social media wise, if that's something that you're interested in doing, which I think everybody should be doing personally. I think it's beneficial to your career to be putting yourself out there usually. So yeah, you can kind of combine forces on that stuff too. But again, it's not necessary. There's a lot of the super high roller crushers that don't do much of anything social media wise.
There's lots of successful poker players who are not married to poker players or dating poker players, right?
Yeah, Phil Hellmuth.
Daniel Negranaeu's wife is not a poker player, is she?
No.
She was in the poker world,
right.
She was in poker media.
Right. But he also had a lot of success before he found relationship success.
So what does that mean?
So maybe it matters more when you're early on in your career development. So maybe it matters more when you're earlier on in your career development, and matters less when you've had more success. Possibly.
Interesting.
Just a theory. I don't know.
Interesting.
Thinking out loud. B's got me thinking. Because I would imagine that so when you're earlier on in your career, I feel a lot of your time, depending on what your goals are, of course, but a lot of your time is going to be consumed by your work.
Sure.
Just like it's going to take longer it's going to take more effort to get out of like entry level and like start moving up. That time is going to be taken away from other things in your life, like a relationship. But if you're able to like grind together or maybe study together, then that's time that you're at least spending together in a relationship. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Maybe it's not really like real solid like relationship time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's solid relationship time, but that doesn't matter because everybody's relationship time is going to be defined differently. Like some people don't care to go on dates. Some people are perfectly happy to just like
play poker together
if that's what, so that's perfectly fine too, you know?
Sure. Or you could do some of it some of the times and the other thing the other some of the time. Is there any voicemails?
There are no voicemails today.
People aren't feeling the voicemail thing lately, at least. Started off a bunch of them.
Yeah. Somebody asked if we could have international listeners call in so have the number on WhatsApp. I'm not 100% sure that that's possible, but
yeah, I don't know.
It is something that I can look into. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's about it.
I think that's all we have.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's all we have time for. If you like this podcast, please like this video and then subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. And if you'd like to chat to us, you can leave us a voice message. I almost said voice mensaje. Because message in Spanish.
Whoa, Duolingo, watch out.
702-690-9299. That is the number. Call or text us. Or you can also write to us, hello@telspodcast.com.
hello@telspodcast.com.
Wait, there was somebody who wrote into the Tells podcast. Giuseppe says, hey guys, I just finished listening to your podcast. And I started watching Queen's Gambit last Friday. After finishing this email, I wanted to tell you that while listening to your podcast, I was thinking I'm going to write them and suggest that they watch Queen's Gambit. I think you'll enjoy it.
Way
and
ahead of you.
then, to my surprise, at the very end, you mentioned it. So he says, thank you for not spoiling it either.
Wouldn't do that.
I was very close to spoiling it. I had to cut it out.
Giuseppe, you're welcome. You're welcome for me jumping in there.
And he says, what happened to tells@andrewneeme.com? I wrote you a message on April 8th to that email and no reply.
Whoops.
Giuseppe, tells@andrew.com got retired 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, a little while ago.
Yeah.
But welcome back. Thank you for, at least you know the correct email. hello@telspodcast.com. Yeah, and that's it for this week.
That's it. All right. Adios.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye.